Welcome to this episode of Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Men Up. As always, I am John. That is Ibteen. It was the Super Bowl.
Did it happen? I didn't notice.
Yeah. Did it also feel to you like it just was like a letdown?
Honestly, if there weren't those like injuries, I think it would have been a better game.
Yeah, the game felt funny the whole way through because like it ended, and I was like, this wasn't that good a game.
That was the season.
Yeah, this is such a bizarre year, and to end with the Bengals in the Super Bowl was already weird enough.
And if
imagine imagine if they had won.
I was asked like, "Who are you rooting for?" And I was like, "I don't really care. I just hope it's a good game."
You didn't even get that. It was an okay game. It was competitive.
Mm-hmm.
It was close. It was weird as hell. Like the whole season has been. Why is it all the time? I know Matt Stafford threw 2 interceptions. He threw 1 interception.
Yeah, the other one.
And Jake Skoranek just gave the other one to Cincinnati.
The hand of God.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't think those should count as interceptions. But then, like, I think the NFL needs an error stat.
What's the line then?
I don't know.
Like any
score it like baseball. Do you know how they score errors in baseball?
No.
Judgment. Literally judgment. They look at it, they're like, that's an error.
I mean, like, if, like, say, like, you throw it to a wide receiver and it hits his hand and then it's picked off. That's an error on the wide receiver?
Probably.
What if you overthrow it? The wide receiver jumps 7 feet into the air and still can't catch it, tips it, and it's intercepted.
Quarterback, interception. It's just the nature of how you baseball scoring is so stupid and arbitrary, but a little bit of stupid and arbitrary on this would make it look like Stafford played as well as he did, because he did play pretty well. He did.
I don't know about that.
He got a ring. He played well enough to get a ring, and Joe Burrow didn't. Which, if you told me going into this game, O-line included, and we'll get to that, because this is a moment I've been waiting for months.
Bengals made the right choice.
Oh, if they had, they would have won.
You know.
But anyway.
If they made your choice, they wouldn't have made it.
I said it last week. I said that last week as well. And it's the reason they lost as well. But anyway, before we get to that, Stafford outplayed Burrow, which I did not think was going to happen.
He would have like comfortably won. I will stand by this. Stafford would have comfortably won Super Bowl MVP if Odell Beckham did not get injured.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true. I'll give you another one for that. Stafford would have won Super Bowl MVP if McVay had abandoned the run sooner.
Oh my God, I was so angry with
that. The run didn't work.
I remember shouting
at Cam Akers shouting at me. He was texting me.
I remember texting at you.
Yeah, it was in caps.
I remember all capsing you like Kanye West.
I'm honestly on Skeet Davidson's side.
I'm tired.
That's what they're calling him now. You know what? I don't even want to say that. I don't want to take sides. This is all stupid. They're all dumb.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired of this crap.
You know what? You know whose side I'm on? I'm going to say I'm on Pete Davidson's side for one reason. How the hell is Pete Davidson dating all these women?
Pete Davidson is magic. Pete Davidson is magic. I even asked my sister. My sister's an 18-year-old girl. My sister was like, is Pete Davidson attractive? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, why? She's like, dude, I don't. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You're the one that thinks it. So why? She's like, I don't know. I asked Allie, and she was like, yeah, he's cute. I'm just like, what does this say about me? I was very concerned. So listen, I like his comedy. He's funny, but weird world we live in. But anyway,
Pete Davidson will play James Bond in the next reboot.
Honestly, you might as well put Pete Davidson in the number 9 Bengal jersey the other night, the way Joe Burrow played.
He kind of looks like Joe Burrow.
A little bit, right? Yeah. Burrow didn't play his best football. I understand the O-line is Horrible. We've been saying this. This is not news to anyone. But my God, that's historic. 9 sacks given up against the Titans. What was it, 7 or 8 against the Rams?
It was 7 against. I think it tied a record, right?
It either tied or broke it. I don't know. But here's what I do know. Joe Burrow was sacked 70 times this season. 70. That's unacceptable. That means if you were to play 10 seasons at this rate, he'd be sacked 700 times. Tom Brady wasn't sacked 600 times in 22 seasons. Part of it rests on Burrow. Now, I will say, I think Burrow had he hurt himself too. He wasn't healthy the whole game.
Okay, so I do have news on that.
Well, I know he's not getting surgery.
It came back and he avoided serious injury.
Good.
It looked like to me like he tore it. When I saw that knee, I thought, okay, it's done. He tore it.
Tina and I both had a he tore it moment during the game. Mine was
Yours
correct.
Was for Stafford.
Mine was for Beckham.
Oh yeah.
Mine was on Beckham, and yours was on Burrow.
Mine was also on Stafford, and he did get MCL.
Stafford's fine. Stafford doesn't. You could cut his leg off. He's not going to feel it. I don't.
That is true.
He's historically that way. Like, the man has played through so much injury. Listen, the problem that people will take with this game is the fact that, the refs ref-balled again. The refs made odd calls again. Yeah.
T. Higgins used to make one.
T. Higgins on a deep ball against Jalen Ramsey. And I got a sec. I'll say something real quick about Jalen Ramsey in a minute that is going to rub Jalen Ramsey the wrong way, but who gives a crap? T. Higgins rips one open, makes a great catch, but all the while literally face masks Jalen Ramsey on his way through.
I think face mask is putting it lightly. He twisted the man's head and
the man's head
turned.
Side. The man's head turned. Jalen Ramsey got off balance off it. That probably should have been flagged. And then a holding call against the Bengals on the last drive for the Rams probably shouldn't have been flagged, but it was as a get back call probably.
What's the point of the sky judge?
Yeah, the sky judge should be doing his job or have a job. Like, I don't know what to do. I agree with you on this. I'm not sure what you're doing. You say you have one, but you're not really using them. What's
and like coaches can't challenge in the last 2 minutes, right?
Correct.
Of either half.
Correct.
So the review is instigated by the sky judge, right?
Initiated, yes.
So the sky judge has good vision of the field.
Yeah, but you don't review for penalties.
I understand that, but like he has a good 10 seconds to review a play. You don't need more than 10 seconds to see that Jalen Ramsey's head turned around.
Well, that wasn't final 2 minutes. It was like
I know, but like what I'm saying is like I'm saying that he has the ability to see this.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think Jalen Ramsey should have. I'm sorry, that T. Higgins shouldn't have been flagged in that play. He should have been.
And it was a touchdown.
And by the way, at the end of the game, Ron Torbert, who for most of the game refed a decent game, kept the flags in the pockets, let the game happen.
He went crazy with the flags.
Doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Did you not hear that?
He doubled down on that?
Doubled down on it. Said T. Higgins was not guilty of a penalty. Double down on it.
His hand was in the face.
What do you want me to say? It was very, very strange. And then the holding call that was not a holding call that gave the Rams new life. And then the offsetting penalties, which actually were dead correct. Mm-hmm. And then the second holding call in the Bengals, which was also dead correct. And Eli Apple, dear God, man, retire.
We should talk about Eli Apple.
Why?
How hated is Eli Apple?
How many New Orleans Saints came out and said
Ravens?
Michael Thomas tweeted out Eli gonna Eli. Oh. It was so funny to me. So funny. Eli Apple just got ripped to shreds on Twitter by former teammates.
Former teammates, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman. I've never seen a more hated player.
He got ripped to shreds. Eli Apple had a good playoff. He actually did have a good playoff. You know what's really funny? The dumbest penalty of the night was on a Bengal corner that was not suited.
What the hell are you doing?
Vernon Hargreaves. Stay off the field, dude. You don't have pads on. Stop.
You're wearing sandals.
With sandals and a hoodie. You moron. You're backing them up to the 10. They have it on 25 and you're putting them at the 10 because you're an idiot. Golly. Listen, there's a lot of things you can complain about with this game. The injuries stink. You need to. Is there a reason for turf anymore?
No.
Can this stop?
Why is a multi-billion-dollar stadium in LA turf?
It's cheaper.
Oh.
You spent $5 billion, splurge for the grass. You're getting people hurt, guys.
Honestly, the Odell Beckham injury really took the air out of the game for me.
It really did.
Yeah.
He was playing well to that point.
Great.
Yeah, you know what's funny? It might have been an ugly game if he'd been healthy, if he'd played the whole game.
Oh, they might have blown out.
It might have gotten ugly.
Yeah.
Because Jamar Chase was actually pretty quiet for the most part.
In the first half, he was fine.
He was sub 100 yards at the end of the game. I think he only caught 5 passes.
I think it was like, 5 for 62?
I think it was like 80. I don't remember exactly. But I know Higgins broke 100.
For one reason.
Parts of that one big play. He had more catches. But I will say, Jalen Ramsey, congratulations on the ring. You're a good corner. My God, did you not have a good day?
What a roller coaster.
What a bad day for Jalen Ramsey.
Let's take away the Higgins thing. I don't blame him for the Higgins problem.
Fine. He still didn't play well.
What I will say, though, did you see the replay of that last play where Aaron Donald forces Joe Burrow to an incompletion?
He's almost on his ass again, and Jamar Chase is streaking.
Jamar Chase is wide open.
He's free.
Yeah.
He's free. If Burrow had one more second, maybe 2 more seconds.
If he had a half a second.
Donald had him earlier than you're thinking. Like
Aaron Donald had him dead for
thrown him around a couple of times.
Like immediately Aaron Donald had
and also Samaje Perine, I love you. Lay out for it.
This is the
Come
Super
on.
Bowl.
This is the Super Bowl. It's 4th down. If you don't get this ball, the game is over. Well, you didn't get the ball. Aaron Donald, man. Let's talk about Aaron Donald. 2 sacks. Finally gets his ring. Is that 8 seasons in the books?
He's ready to retire.
There were rumors before the game started, Rodney Harrison, apparently newsbreaker Rodney Harrison, talking about how Aaron Donald's thinking about retiring if they had won this game.
Well, you did it, and you did it in style.
And it was in large part won because of you.
You literally gave the whole ring me in celebration. As the game is over, he said, ring me.
It was pretty cool.
How is he not Super Bowl MVP?
He wasn't Super Bowl MVP because Cooper Kupp got an MVP vote for the season, had 90-something yards receiving and 2 scores.
Do you want to know who voted him for Super Bowl?
It was the guy that said Aaron Rodgers was never going to get the vote. Yeah, it was that guy. Fine. By the way, that's one more shot take we have to take. Justin Herbert did not get 1 vote.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think it's wrong. But we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers winning MVP shortly. We just want to bookend this Super Bowl a little bit.
Something else for the Bengals, Tyler Boyd dropping the first time ever.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd just let one hit the ground, he turned real fast.
Yeah.
That was one of those special, like, you did not look the ball in type plays. The Bengals, here's the funny thing, is people always say, like, oh, this team will be back, or they'll do this.
Don't think they're going to be back
Here's
soon.
it's not so much that. It's more so the winning a Super Bowl is, of the big 4, probably the hardest championship to win and the hardest championship to get to. I don't know if Zach Taylor is that good a coach.
I don't think he is.
And by the way, after this Super Bowl, I don't know if Sean McVay is that good a coach.
You know who is? The Vikings. Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris should have been hired. I don't know why you took Kevin O'Connell. You people are morons.
You want to see a halftime adjustment in the Super Bowl?
Dope halftime show, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Bitchin' halftime show. Nice to see Kendrick Lamar back. Yeah, Dr. Dre almost died last year. He was in the hospital. He was like really in bad shape. Good for him. He did great. 50 Cent. My God, man. Why are you hanging up? Why are you upside down?
I'm happy he was
how would you do
upside down.
Oh, you know what's funny? There was an article I saw about like the article was like one of those classes like who is blank this person. It was who is Mary J. Blige, and I'm like, how dare you? What do you mean who is Mary J. Blige? You stupid Gen Z. What was that? I have respect for Gen Z, but guys, come on, Mary J. Blige.
How do you know 50 Cent don't know Mary J. Blige?
Well, that's easy. Remember what 50 Cent did back in the day?
No.
Remember the 50?
I dodged all of 50 Cent.
In the Club is one of my favorite songs just because the backing is so just like amping. But he, what is it? Back in the day, I forget if it was Graduation or 808s for Kanye. Back when Kanye was like, legitimate.
Same.
Yeah, back when I cared. He challenged Kanye West to like who's going to sell more records in the first week, and the loser has to retire. I think it was 808s. I think it went platinum in 3 days. And I don't know if Curtis got to platinum. I just don't know. But I know that Ye was like, okay, bye. Like Ye took the bet and that whole thing. Like they were beefing for like a minute and a half. And 50 Cent is still around, but everything he's done since has just been like, okay, fine, whatever, sure.
He basically retired.
But on the topic of retirement, you've got the Aaron Donald retirement rumors. You've got Sean McVay retirement rumors. Who knows? Who knows if these Rams are going to be back next year?
I don't think they're going to be back next year.
So if McVay retires,
Raheem Morris.
Can Raheem Morris get the job then?
Yeah.
Maybe. Please. I don't know if the reason, here's the thing with McVay. McVay is in his 30s. If McVay really loves head coaching in the NFL, he just stays and he keeps doing it.
I don't think he cares. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking at like a 36-year-old man who's getting married this summer to a supermodel who wants to start a family and is being told he has a broadcasting job the minute he wants it. And I'm asking myself, what left is there to do?
The Rams have this weird situation where they have so many players on that roster and so many people in the in the front office that or in the coaching staff. You can point out and be like, you kind of don't have to do anything more.
You're done.
All they needed was to win a ring. All McVay had to do was win a ring. He got it. Aaron Donald, the only thing that was missing was a ring. He got it.
Stafford
will keep playing because he's Matt Stafford. It's just a thing he'll do. But you know what? I can't even say that. His wife was really sick a couple years back.
He might be ready to call it and just spend time with his family.
By the way, I'm just going to make it clear now where my position stands on this. If he had lost the game, I thought Matt Stafford was going to the Hall of Fame one day.
I didn't think he
now that he has it, he is definitely going to the Hall of Fame. There's no world where he isn't. Fastest player in NFL history to eclipse 50,000 yards passing. He now has himself a ring. Richard Sherman's argument of he hasn't won MVP or he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. Yeah, he's never been the league's best quarterback at any moment. So the hell what? Who cares? He's got a ring. He's got one of the only 5,000-yard passing seasons of all time. And he's now quarterbacked the two greatest receiving seasons of all time by a receiver. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Sorry. The arm's too good. The arm is too good. Now, and you saw some great Stafford in this game and some bad Stafford in this game.
You saw like elite Stafford with the no-look pass.
Dude, I mean, come on. It's what he's done this forever. And it was so funny. I forget who it was, but I think it was like Mahomes or Rodgers. Somebody with like crazy acclaim. When he went to the Rams, it was like, is that really much? It was like, guys, all this Mahomes stuff you're seeing, Stafford's been doing that for 10 years up in Detroit. What are you talking about? This isn't new. He's that good. He is that good. He just played for Detroit.
And then we also saw the typical.
I've been holding this back.
And then we also saw the typical Stafford turnovers.
Listen, that one pass, it was thrown late, straight up. Like he needed to throw that ball back 2 seconds earlier. As soon as I was like, wait a minute, he's throwing it now. They've got 40 yards. Oh God, yeah, it's gonna get picked. Like as he's throwing it, I'm like, it's gonna get picked, and it was. But thanks to Vernon Hargraves, it wasn't that bad a pick.
You know what we should actually check. Because I think we both agree that we don't expect to see these two teams back here again next year for different reasons.
I don't know. I think the reason I don't see the Bengals back here is just because it's so hard to so hard to do, and the competition in the AFC is just unbelievable.
The competition in the AFC is scary.
I think the Chargers and the Bills have the recipe to get better. The Bengals do, but it's called draft 7 offensive linemen. And the Chiefs still have Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey.
Right, so here are the Bengals free agents. They just got
it's a long list. I forget who it is.
Left tackle Riley Reef. Who cares? Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi, who was injured.
That's significant.
Tight end CJ Uzama.
CJ Uzama.
Yeah, Uzama.
CJ Uzama. That's significant as well.
Defensive tackle Josh Tupou. Corner Vernon Hargraves.
Bye.
Punter Kevin Huber.
He will not be going anywhere. 13 years in that city.
Backup QB Brandon Allen.
Who cares?
Defensive back Ricardo Allen. Here's the big one. Safety Jesse Bates.
That's significant.
Yeah.
He needs money.
Eli Apple.
Bye.
Linebacker Jordan Evans.
Maybe.
Guard Quinton Spain.
Bye.
Defensive tackle BJ Hill.
Has to stay.
Wide receiver Mike Thomas. You can go. Corner Jalen Davis.
Okay.
Corner Trey Flowers.
Nah.
He is a pretty important depth piece.
Yeah, he is.
Corner Darian Phillips.
Okay.
Wide receiver Auden Tate. So yeah, there's some depth pieces there, and you have to pay Jesse Bates.
You have to pay Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates will make real money on the market. If I'm Cincinnati, I let every offensive lineman I have not named Jonah Williams get the hell out of my building. And even Jonah Williams, I'd consider just find a trade partner. I would rebuild the O-line because it's horrendous. It's objectively terrible.
Now let's look at the Rams. Odell Beckham. We both fully expect him to re-sign with the Rams.
I expect him to sign there for cheap, actually.
Joseph Noteboom.
Joe Noteboom, okay.
Austin Corbett.
Okay. That's Brian a lot of O-linemen.
Who's also started.
It's also O-line.
Yeah. Running backs, Sony Michelle.
Wait, real quick. You just named 3 O-line starters and Whitworth's probably retiring. So you're telling me their entire starting O-line.
Yes.
Minus one dude. That's not good.
Running backs, Sony Michelle and Buddy Howell.
Sure.
John Wolford. I only say him because he started a couple of games.
Yeah,
right. Okay, here's some pretty big ones on defense. You've got Von Miller, who will get paid.
Probably.
You've got Traven Howard, an outside linebacker, and Agbonia Okoronkwo. I do think he have a good Super Bowl too.
He played pretty well the past few weeks.
Troy Reader, inside linebacker.
Significant.
Darius Williams, who's one of the better Ram corners.
Sure.
Matt Gay, Pro Bowl kicker.
Matt Gay had an odd playoff.
He did not have that good of a playoff.
Yeah, good season, weird playoff. Left 40-yarders short against Tampa. Very odd.
So both of these teams are losing key free agents. And let's not forget Eric Weddle started for the Rams.
Retiring again.
Yeah, again.
Right.
So, I don't know. You need a rebuild. And the Rams, I think they're kind of done. I think the Rams did what they wanted to do. We might see them move some players, actually.
I'd start looking at the trade market if I'm the Rams.
I don't know what
Ramsey.
to do. I would try to move Ramsey.
I wouldn't eat that contract.
Someone will. I can tell you somebody will.
Yeah, somebody will. I hope it's not Philly. That's all. I just hope it's not Philly.
Yeah,
Are we going to go from F them picks to give me your picks, please? Is that what the Rams are going to be now instead of
when you don't have an offensive line, you kind of need some picks.
Need them picks. Best way to build it is through the draft.
Speaking of offensive line, you know who might get traded this offseason? And then we'll move on.
Who?
Houston Texans tackle.
Tunzel. Laramie Tunzel again.
Laramie Tunzel could probably be moved again.
Whoever pays more than 1-1 for Laramie Tunzel, you're getting fleeced. He is so overrated. He's good, and that's it. He's good. He's not the best tackle in the world.
So from one likely trade to another, it was a decent Super Bowl. Let's move on to offseason.
Let's do it.
It's the best time of the year. It's
good work, Stafford.
Yeah. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford.
Proud of you.
Congratulations, Aaron Donald. Congratulations, Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson had the day. Anybody listening to this, and Eptine and I, none of us will have a day as good as Van Jefferson did. He wins a ring and has a baby. Good win.
Also, congratulations, Taylor Rapp. He got engaged.
Taylor Rapp got engaged. Congrats to Whitworth on what is likely his retirement. 40 years old, playing left tackle in the Super Bowl, and played pretty darn well. And Stafford. I've been so in on Matt Stafford for so many years. To finally watch him do exactly what I knew the entire time he was able to do. And then to watch him react in typical Stafford way of just like, all right, cool. Like he just did. They barely showed him on camera because I don't think he was actually emoting at all. I think he was just like surprised.
This was Weddle's first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations to Weddle. He deserved one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Was he weirdly with Baltimore at one point?
He was with Baltimore. I don't think
wait
he
a minute.
won
Let me make sure. I don't think he did either. But as I said, I'm like, wait, he played with Baltimore for like a cup of coffee. Wait a minute. Let me see. I think that was his first one. Yes, it was.
Okay.
That was
who else?
This was his first. He did not win.
You know what? Congratulations to Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings saw that and they decided to keep on going with you.
Good works, man in charge of special projects. Good work.
Oh my God.
Good luck in Minnesota.
All right. Also, congratulations to the Colts because it looks like you want to trade Carson Wentz.
Apparently, the reporting is that Carson Wentz's future in Indy looks, and I'm quoting this, bleak.
You gave a 1.
You gave a 1 and a 3.
Oh, God.
You know who the 3 became?
What?
Milton Williams, who's playing real good ball for us.
There's a guy named Milton in the NFL?
No, dude. I'll show you some tape on him.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see an angrier third-round pick.
Well, yeah, he was named Milton.
No, this dude plays pissed. He's fun. I'll show you him. Remember the tape during the draft last year where Howie Roseman was like getting yelled at by somebody and all that? It was because we took Milton and Detroit took somebody else. I forget who it was, but we got sniped 1 pick ahead. Milton's played very well. I don't think they're complaining anymore. I wouldn't be because I love.
Who's the Detroit guy?
I forget.
I'm going to check while you talk about Carson Wentz.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. Carson Wentz stinks. I'm so happy. This is so funny. The Colts thought they had the golden ticket, and they got fleeced by themselves.
It was defensive tackle Aleem McNeil.
That's who it was.
And the Eagles drafted defensive tackle Milton Williams.
Yeah. Milt's played well. I got no complaints about that. Milt's played real well. If that dude, the other guy made the playoff or Pro Bowl, I would have been complaining a little bit more. But Milt's had a good year. Very, very happy with what
I wanted it to be Amon St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I knew it was a DT.
Okay.
I could have told you that. I knew it was the same position. So, listen, Indy. Here's your problem. Here's the problem. You can't trade him for a bag of chips. He can't play.
He's going to Denver, isn't he?
Maybe. I don't know where he goes. I really don't have a clue. He doesn't fit anywhere. You know what? He might work at, I don't know, Tampa. They have the money for it. Does Tampa have any money? Tennessee? Do they have any money?
But Tennessee's sticking with Tannehill.
I mean, Washington? Do they have any money?
That might work.
All these teams are bad. Like, you're understanding the trend. Tampa is probably going to downspin.
It is not the year to need a quarterback. I think we figured that out.
You know what's funny is that it is and isn't. It is if you're ready to win. It's not if you're not. If you're still building your team, wait a year.
Going for if you're trying to win.
Russ.
Okay.
Russ. You go after Russ or Watson if all that crap clears.
Oh God.
Well, I understand. Oh God, and I share that. You want
to know who Tampa's getting?
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Florida doesn't give a damn about Deshaun Watson's legal problems.
Miami didn't. Although Ross might not have that opportunity soon, he might be out of the league. What's great is that Ross and Snyder might both be gone, which you have 3 teams for sale all at once. Those 2 in Denver. How crazy is that?
And Jeff Bezos buys all 3.
Jeffrey Bezos. You can't. He's not allowed to own more than one.
If Bezos, say
Jeffrey Bezos,
if he buys a team, never mind. I answered my own stupid question.
What were you gonna say?
I was like, does Amazon have to give up theirs? I'm like, wait, he doesn't care anymore.
Right. Nobody cares. He'll be like, how much money until I can do it? How much money until you let me do it?
Would you like to go to Mars or have an NFL team? Jeffrey Bezos is like, I can do both, bitch.
Porque no los dos, bitches.
I can pay for a city to move a bridge for my yacht.
Do you see 3,000 people have signed like a Facebook group to go egg the yacht when it goes through? Yeah. I'm so ready. I want that live stream. Somebody's got to get those guys a Twitch. Get them a Twitch channel. I'll watch the hell out of that.
All right. So Carson Wentz is not long for Indianapolis.
He should also be egged. What's funny about Carson Wentz is that when the spotlight gets hot, there's one thing you can always count on Carson Wentz to do. Fail. To Jacksonville. Fail.
Still my favorite game of the season.
They lost by 20. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, it's not like Jacksonville got it done on like a 4th down play. Jacksonville controlled the game. You had a potential MVP caliber season out of your running back. Carson played decent ball most of the year. Pretty decent defense. You lose to Jacksonville by 20. All you had to do was win.
A Jacksonville team.
All they had to do was win, and they probably would have won a playoff game.
Yeah.
All they had to do was win. Who were they playing?
Who would they play?
Cincy. They would have played Cincy.
That's not a bad matchup for them.
They might have beaten Cincy. They might have beaten Cincy. Oh, well. It's so funny. It's so funny. What's great is tonight when we're done with our news segment for the day, guys, we're telling you, we already told you last week, we're bringing you our list of wide receivers. We're getting going. It is time for the offseason. We're going to start talking about rookies. We got 16 to talk about. We had 17, and then we learned something today. But before we get to that, what I was going to say was they could be in on most of these guys. But if they don't have a quarterback to throw to any of them, why do you need one? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Hey, Sam Ellinger, we believe in you. Do it.
It'd be really funny if they trade Carson Wentz for a 3rd round pick. They go ahead and draft.
Oh my God, I just figured out what it is.
What?
Oh, no, they can't afford that.
No, you think Kirk Cousins?
No, I was going to say New Orleans. No, they can't afford that. They can't even come close to afford it. I was going to say.
Actually, no. Carson might be getting cut.
No, I understand that. I was going to say trade him for Ian Book. But
Ian Book is Ian Book.
But Ian Book is Ian Book.
And Carson Wentz is just Carson Wentz.
Ian Book is just John Book in Scottish.
We started getting into like football cards, and the amount of Ian Book cards that we have seen.
Oh my God. People were like, "Oh my god, it's a rookie Ian Book card," and the guys are like plastic sleeve the card. We're like, "Why?
It's Ian.
It's Ian Book. Who gives a crap? Yeah, he's a rookie. So what?" Jalen Rieger was a rookie at one point. I pulled a Jalen. We put these things on box breaks, so you would like pay to. You win an eBay auction to get like all the players from a certain team. And I'd bid on the Eagles. And I got like a rare variant of Jalen Rieger. So I basically covered a lump of dog crap with like glitter.
You have a great coaster now.
Golly. Rough. Sorry, Rieger. I just, I don't mean to be that harsh. You just didn't. It ain't working, Chief. Anyway, Carson Wentz. I every time I read his name now, I just laugh. I really do. It makes me giddy because he's an epic fail right now. If his knee never went, will we be talking differently about Carson Wentz?
Oh, very easily.
Do you think? Here's the thing. Every time I watch Josh Allen play, I'm reminded of 2017 Carson, and that's every time I see it, I'm just like, this is what he could have been. This is what he was. He was that. And then, thanks, Rams. You took it from us. No, you took it from the Colts. Now you're forgiven. This is funny because you're not going to get picks for this. This is a cut. This is a cut bait scenario.
Good thing you have such a huge amount of cap space.
And there's no comp. If they cut him, you don't get comp picks. There's nothing. You will have traded a 1 and a 3 for nothing.
You would have traded 1 and a 3 to lose to the Jaguars.
To lose to Jacksonville in week 18.
All right, let's move on.
From one overrated quarterback to another, Derek Carr reports today that his extension may look something to the tune of $40 million a year. And I laugh at this number because it seems very high.
So current reporting is that it would be a 2-year extension.
I just realized the way you're talking and the way I'm talking today, you sound sane and I sound like the left brain.
Okay.
I just sound like I've lost it and you're just like, you sound like NPR and I sound like Spike TV. That's what it sounds like right now.
I'm fine with this dynamic.
Bring more attitude. You got to bring the gas, team.
All right. I'll do that when we talk about wide receiver.
I need more gas.
Hint, hint. There's one wide receiver I just don't like.
We both don't like him. We know who it is.
Anyways.
There's also a receiver that kind of isn't one.
Anyways, current rumor is that it would be an extension on top of the current contract. Derek Carr is due, I think it's $19 million and some change this year. And he would add $40 million per year on the next 2. So it'd be 3 years, averages to just around $33 million. If that happens, I'm more than fine with that contract.
Yeah, fire the agent. If that happens, fire the agent.
So this got me curious, right, to look at quarterback contracts because, with the cap going every year, quarterback contracts kind of just raise like crazy.
Sure, but do you really want to be the next one to get to 40? Like, there's other quarterbacks that should get there before Carr.
So let's look at it. So number 1, obvious, Mahomes at 45.
The Mahomes boy.
Allen at 43. Prescott's at 40. I forgot about that.
He is.
Yeah, that's there.
It doesn't look so great right now.
Deshaun Watson's at 39, not looking too good right now. Russell Wilson at 35.
That looks amazing.
Jared Goff is the 9th. Not the 9th.
So that's rough.
Jared Goff is paid 33.5. Aaron Rodgers is paid 33.5. Kirk Cousins 33. Carson Wentz 32. Ryan 30, Ryan Tannehill 29.5, Garoppolo 27.5. Coming in at a steal, Matthew Stafford was only paid $27 million this year.
Yeah, baby.
Carr's contract averages out to 25 per year. Tom Brady 25. Okay, so and you got Kyler Murray that's going to get a contract soon. Baker,
who knows?
Yeah,
stay tuned. That's going to get messy before it gets clean.
Yeah, I'm looking at to see if there's any other quarterbacks that will be getting contracts.
The point you're making is a fair one. Derek Carr is better than a couple of those guys that are paid higher than he is. The man's due for a raise. If you're telling me what was Derek Carr's number? 20 what? Was it 20
so
something?
The contract averaged out to 25 per year, but this year he got paid, I think, 20. Or no, next year he will be paid 20.
Derek Carr needs a raise. It's pretty simple. He had a good season. He should be paid commensurately with that. That's completely fair. $40 million a year does not hit the ear right with regards to Derek Carr. It just doesn't for me. I think of 40 and I think of a franchise guy for the next 6-7 years of my life. And I'm sorry, I don't think Derek Carr will be there that long.
Really? I don't think the thing is, I think 40, I think like what he should be paid. Like if you ask me what I want to pay him, it's 35 is like okay. Where I'm like, yeah.
35. I'd go with you on that. My number is 32, but my number is
32. I'm looking at a steal.
No, I understand it, but that's the value I'd place on Carr. If I would open with 30, which is 10 million up. Mm-hmm. I'll just tell you from the negotiation perspective.
Well, actually, no, it's 10 million up this year, but it's only 5 million up from his contract yearly.
That's fine. I'm still going AAV at 30. Okay. If his AAV is 25, I'll go AAV 30, which is a raise. That's a 20-something% raise.
Mm-hmm. In Nevada now.
That's a 25%. Right? That's a 20% raise. Literally a 20% raise in Nevada, which is really good. He should be looking at that and be like, all right, it's at least respectable. He'll come back with 40. I won't answer the phone. He'll then come back with 38. Because if I give him any contract with a 4 in front of it, it's for a year and $4. Because I'm not, 40 million is bananas for that. For a quarterback over the age of 30, that is still very good, but I'm not. The Raiders, I just don't view the Raiders as a team that is 2 years or 1 year from contention. I know they got to the playoffs. I do not care. If you play that Raider-Charger game a million times, it will 50-50 out. Because that game was so odd. It's just, I don't look at it as Carr is the reason they're decent. They're, but he's.
Oh, this year it was.
I understand. The team itself is not good enough to warrant the 40 million. Okay, we got to go do it now because you're not in now mode.
So I want to look at what the next round of contracts is. You got Kyler this year, right? Or is it it's supposed to be this year? Lamar Jackson, we forgot about.
I didn't forget about Lamar.
I did. Russell Wilson's an unrestricted free agent in 2024.
He got 2 years.
So yeah, he will be getting an extension soon.
He'll get one probably if he goes to a new team, he'll get one.
Oh wow, Wilson's only getting 24 this next year.
He's probably due for a raise.
He's getting an extension. The way I see it is in a year, 40 will be looking like the new 35.
And that's fine. I still wouldn't give him 35. 40, you don't want to be the precedent setter with Derek Carr. Just, you don't want to.
I think the precedent set was Dak Prescott at 40.
No. Because listen, you could ask, if you were to ask 32 teams in the NFL right now, who would they rather have, Dak Prescott or Derek Carr? I think 31 of them would say Dak Prescott. And I think the Raiders would say Carr. Because Dak Prescott's a significantly younger player that has shown higher upside.
Although I did not like Prescott in the playoffs this year.
I understand that, and that's a valid complaint. But to say that Dak Prescott's upside isn't clearly there.
Yeah. Prescott does have better upside.
His upside's ridiculous, and he's significantly younger. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a guy that I just sound like Collinsworth. Here's a guy. Yeah, today, Derek, if you need to win one quarter or one game, maybe Carr's your better quarterback.
Especially if it's the fourth quarter.
But fair and lol. But Dak Prescott, and this is coming from an Eagle fan, Dak Prescott is a capable, quality quarterback in this league.
You know what's this is not even on Prescott. This is just with the Cowboys in general. What's wrong with the Cowboys offense? You have CeeDee Lamb,
Mike
Amari
McCarthy
Cooper,
coaches it.
CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard.
I understand.
Why does it not work?
Yes. That is all I have. Do you understand how much every part of a team goes into every other part of a team working? It's just that it's the nature. You can have a million great players on it. If your GM sucks, or your owner sucks, your coach sucks, the team won't be good. The Dolphins built a good football team. Ross is a bad guy. No playoffs. Washington, a few years ago, built a decent football team. Didn't even make the playoffs with it. Bad owner. Failure.
All right, so let's wrap this up. How much would you be willing to pay Lamar Jackson? Let's do like a guideline of the people that are going to get contracts in like the next 2 years. How much would
you started with by far the hardest one.
Really? Okay, let's start off with an easier one. How much would you extend Russell Wilson for?
Russell Wilson breaks 35. I'd put Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson breaks 40.
Maybe.
Because you have Prescott sitting there at 40.
Listen, I'm looking at it from the perspective of Russell Wilson is not going to enter negotiations with the Mahomes number. He won't. Because if he does, he'll be laughed out of the room. So I look at Wilson and I see a top 5 quarterback. I know the guy's unbelievable. Listen, if you want to, if your question is my prediction of what I would offer him, they're different numbers. Prediction, he'll break 40.
Okay, so what's your prediction and what's your offer? We'll do that for all these quarterbacks, then we'll move on.
Ross, I'd offer 37.5. I think he'd get 40 to 42.
I think I would offer Russ 40, and I think he would take 42.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting to 45. I don't think anyone is getting to 45.
No, there's a clear limit to this.
Yeah, Burrow and Herbert are the next two that you can look at as potential at 45. Those are the next two in the league today that could potentially get there.
And
we
should actually talk about Burrow and Herbert.
Well, I'm going to say not counting Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers is a weird situation. Let's not do that because it kind of doesn't even correlate. It's going to be its own thing.
So Burrow and Herbert, I think we can both agree we would expect an extension talk to start happening after the end of next season, assuming everything continues to progress.
At the end of next year, as long as both guys are still as good as they've been, yes.
So with Burrow and Herbert together, I think I would offer 40, and I think we would get 45.
I think you're going to look at 45 for Burrow. I think you're going to look at 42 for Herbert. I think that's what you're going to say.
Because of the Super Bowl tax.
And if I were, listen, if Herbert goes in next year and wins the damn thing, then you're going to see those numbers flip.
You're going to go to 50.
Yeah, you're going to see the numbers flip.
Yeah.
But, either the Chargers got mad good or Herbert did. Here's the problem. The Chargers are cash poor. So who's going to pay it? Is it the Chargers?
Or New Orleans?
Is it New Orleans? It was the team with no money, with negative $74 million. I don't know. I know that they're both worth over $40 million. I know that they'll both likely break $40 million. Either guy under 40, fire the agents, elect that general manager president of this country because they need a promotion.
All right.
That's elite level work.
Kirk Cousins.
He is worth $0.00.
Kirk Cousins will be a free agent in 2023.
Who gives a crap?
How much would you offer him?
$0. I would not offer him anything.
You would not offer Kirk Cousins a single thing.
Any team. Tell me what team I am. It will depend on the team.
Okay, you are Denver.
30, not $1 more.
Okay, you are.
He's going to go ring chase, so I can get him for less money.
Okay, so yeah. So you're Tampa.
Right? Because Stafford's at 25.
Stafford's at 27.
Fine. Same difference.
Speaking of Stafford, he's a free agent in 2023. What do the Ravens?
Yeah, he is a ring now. He has to break 30.
Oh, of course. But what would you offer him?
$7 trillion. No.
I think I'd offer him
33.
I think I'd offer him 35.
Yeah, I think it ends up at 35.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we're doing 35 on like a 3-year deal. It's not going to be 4 or 5 or 6. It's a shorter deal. And you know what? And I'll even guarantee a good chunk of it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of the third, was it 30, 35
on 3,
70, 105?
Probably guarantee 80 to 90.
I guarantee 65 to 75 million.
I think you got to guarantee 80.
I agree with you. That's why that's why I'm starting low.
Okay, 2 quarterbacks are going to be on different teams next year: Carson Wentz and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Carson Wentz gets 20. Base salary gets 20. You know why it's 20? Because you know the amount of money they owe Carson Wentz if he's on the roster on March 15th?
15 million, right?
15 million. You're going to take that number. You're going to negotiate it in free agency. 1 year, 20 million, period. That's what he's going to get. If he gets much higher than that, I will be surprised. Jimmy Garoppolo is currently at what, 27?
Jimmy Garoppolo is at 27 and a half.
You might see a similar number because that's about his going rate. Because it's not like he's played like crap. He's just played like him. Is Jimmy better or worse than Carson Wentz?
On the right
I don't know.
On the right team, I think he's better.
Sure. At a baseline, I like Carson's upside more. But Carson's upside seems like it's very long gone.
All right, last two. Then I think we have a pretty finished picture.
A good idea.
Matt Ryan and Ryan Tannehill.
That's hard. Matt Ryan's tricky. We have to still touch Lamar Jackson real quick. But Matt Ryan's hard. What's he at right now?
Currently at 30 average per year.
Go ring chase at 30.
Oh, that number is going to drop though. It's 23 and it's 23 million in 2022 and 2023. It's 28 million. So
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced Matt Ryan is a Falcon next year.
I think he is next year.
We'll see. He's not getting younger, and he is starting to show some age.
I think he's been showing some.
He still had a pretty darn good season. He just, a little bit of age, too few targets this season with Ridley having to step away. Pitts is unreal, but you need a little bit more than just one tight end that's actually an Adonis. I'd give him 30 to go ring chase. That's what I would do.
Tannehill is making 29 this coming year.
Tannehill will get to 22 and a half. Tannehill's number has to drop.
Okay. Yeah, after the collapse that we saw.
He really gave it away.
So, Lamar Jackson.
That's a problem. And it's made more of a problem because he doesn't have a damn agent. This is a nightmare for Baltimore. If you're Baltimore, you are terrified of this because you're going to come up with, well, you don't have a whole lot of playoff success. And he's going to come back with, but I won MVP.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Because he did win MVP. The problem is the arm has plateaued, and that's not what you wanted to see.
Which sucks because it was getting there.
It was getting better, and then it was getting better, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
It got to the top and just didn't do anything but just stop moving. So I don't know what to do with him.
I think Lamar at the end gets 42.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do if I was Baltimore? Honest to God.
Franchise tag him?
No. No. Never. If you franchise tag Lamar Jackson, you made a mistake. That is called an error. That's called whoever did it should be fired twice. I would look for a trade. I honestly would. I would look around. I would see what the market value is.
Call Seattle.
Listen, if I like a deal, I make it. If I look at the deals and it coincides with what Baltimore thinks his value is, sign his ass for whatever that amount of money is. If it's 33, 35, do it.
I got to be honest with you. If it's 33, 35, it was already done by now.
I understand. That's correct. So it's over 40. I know the price has to be over 40. The man won MVP, and that really hurts Baltimore's bargaining power.
Yep.
Like it really hurts Baltimore's bargaining power.
It's 42.
It might be.
Is 42, and I guarantee you it's like top loaded, and like the first.
Now here's my question:
is over 45.
If Baltimore does what's good for him, they'll incentive laden the hell out of it, but they probably can't. If I were you, you and I, we can do this in unison and musically.
Okay.
Ebteen, you're the Baltimore GM. Would you pay Lamar Jackson $42 million? No. Oh, he doesn't agree. Damn, that would have been funny.
Oh,
42?
can I put a contract out in it?
When do you want the out?
2 years.
I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3 on a 5-year deal.
At 42?
Yep.
I make it.
On 43.
Yeah.
Okay, so 43 over 5 years. That's what, 215? Is that what that is? Is that 215?
Yeah.
160 guaranteed. Do you do it?
No.
140 guaranteed.
No.
Then you ain't making that deal.
120.
No. No, no, no. No. The only reason Mahomes got half his contract and no more was because of how long the contract is. That's the only reason. He's not getting a 10-year deal. If Baltimore gives Lamar Jackson a 10-year deal, you know who wins that negotiation?
Football.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson plays a brand of ball that will get him hurt, that he wins.
Oh, speaking of Lamar Jackson, we forgot about one more person. Kyler Murray.
Not going to do it yet. Let's go to the Hall of Fame snubs.
Right.
I'm really not touching Kyler yet.
All right.
Hall of Fame snubs. Let's do these quickly because we got to get to our wideouts, and I want to make sure we keep this a respectable length. Hall of Fame snubs. I'm not even going to talk about the class. Cliff Branch, great. I don't know if he really belonged in there, but fine. Tony Baselli is the one guy. Sam Mills, Tony Baselli, and Dick Vermeil, cool. Those 3, fine. How did DeMarcus Ware not get a first ballot Hall of Fame? How is that possible? How insulting can you be? DeMarcus freaking Ware? Devin Hester? Really, nothing. Nothing for those 2 guys. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Devin Hester, and you're not putting him in the Hall first ballot.
I'm more okay with Hester not being a first ballot.
It's disgusting, MT. Greatest kick returner of all time, you're going to keep him out. I wouldn't. Both those men would have had my votes. Both of them. I don't know. Hall of Fame voting is busted. The fact that those 2 men did not make it. Zach Thomas still hasn't made it. That's disgusting. Jared Allen is less disgusting to me, but he probably should make it.
No, I don't think Jared Allen should have been a first ballot.
He wasn't first ballot, but Jared Allen. The problem with Jared Allen is Jared Allen's weird tendency where he would have a really amazing season and then go quiet, and then have a really amazing season and then go quiet, and then amazing. You get the point. It was weird. I don't know. The Hall of Fame seems weird to me. Meanwhile, Richard Sherman's out here saying Matt Stafford doesn't belong there. If he gets in, the bar's too low. Cliff Branch had 3 Pro Bowl seasons. What are you talking about, bar's too low?
Cliff Branch needed to be in the Hall of Fame before a lot of other wide receivers that got in ahead of him. The man led in playoff yards until Jerry Rice, who is Jerry Rice.
Crap, playoff yards.
Yeah, he was one of the
crap. I don't care about that. That's such a dumb stat. Playoff yards.
For what
were you doing the first 4 months?
Basically, his entire career. The Raiders either made it to the Super Bowl or lost in the playoffs,
and that's because of the wide receiver.
I mean,
the man had 2 seasons of 1,000 yards or more. I understand it was more of a running game in the 70s and 80s, but he had 2 seasons of 1,000 yards or more. He had 2 seasons where he broke 10 touchdowns. Another one where he broke 9.
Hired as the league's career playoff record holder for receptions and receiving yards until
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
absolutely, that's fine. 74 playoff and All Pro, 75 playoff and All Pro, 76 playoff and All Pro, 77 Pro Bowl and All Pro for all those. 77 Pro Bowl. That was his last Pro Bowl. When did he retire, MT? 1985. He played more seasons after his final Pro Bowl season than before it. Off a cliff.
He finished with 501 receptions, 8,685 yards, and 67 touchdowns. That's more than Lynn Swann, Charlie Joyner, and John Stallworth, all who were inducted ahead of him.
Lynn Swann has 4 rings. Lynn Swann has 4 rings. I'm not a believer that Lynn Swann should be in there for what it's worth, because I don't like the rings as the tiebreaker. But no, just no. He's one of the least hardware tied receivers in the Hall of Fame. We do need to be more discerning with who gets in. And somehow they drew the line against a top 10 all-time pass rusher and the single greatest return man in NFL history. What? For a receiver that will not crack anyone's top 20. Ever. Don't see it happening. We got one more bit of news, and then we got to get into these receivers. I think we kind of want to. What is this? Like this isn't like a PSA, is it? It's like a show position. It's like our position on the show. Aaron Rodgers. We think he's staying.
I'm like 90% there, actually, that he is staying.
Yeah, we think he's staying. And we're annoyed by it. Our current belief is that Aaron Rodgers is probably going to stay in Green Bay. Because when he won the MVP the other day, which, yeah, he probably deserved it, he thanked Brian Gutekunst.
How the hell are you thinking, Brian?
How you thinking, Brian? You made it clear that the reason you wanted to leave
was Brian.
And now, hey, thanks, Brian. You and your Breaking Bad hair. Like, what are we doing? Like, is Green Bay lost? Are they confused?
They're trying to last dance their last dance.
They're trying to last dance the last dance. Maybe this time they'll draft a receiver. By the way.
Hell of a class to do it.
By the way, I bet you Jordan Love's got trade value. I bet you he's got some. Like second round pick trade value.
Oh, you should call
Ghostbusters.
Indy.
Oh my God. They should do that. Trade Love and bring Carson in as the backup. Oh God. I don't even want to think about it. Let's talk about receivers.
All right, we have 16 wide receivers. We had 17. But,
16 receivers. What happened to the 17th receiver, Ebteen?
Joseph Nagata
from Clemson
made the correct choice and didn't declare.
Yeah, we looked at tape of him. There wasn't a ton of it. 47 career catches. Is that what we saw?
Yep.
He was on a lot of big boards, and then all of a sudden today, when we're finalizing the list, we see that he's no longer on any big boards. So we're operating under the belief that Joseph Ngata is not going to the NFL draft.
You know who also is? Clemson, because he's on their 2022-2023 roster.
Yeah, he's listed on the roster in the depth chart. Okay, I guess you're not coming.
That's a very smart choice. I'm very happy.
It's funny because we had him at 16th out of 17.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him leaving to move our first guy up to 16. What's funny, though, about this list, I guess there's tiers to this.
There's clear tiers.
The top 5 are players we legitimately love.
Mm-hmm.
We actually love all 5 of them. And the separation between all 5 is actually not that much.
You know what's crazy about this top 5?
What?
I wouldn't blink if any of them are picked in the top 15.
I wouldn't either. If you took any of these guys over another one, I wouldn't be stunned. I think players 1, 2, and 3 are more well-rounded.
I agree.
Than 4 and 5 are. And I think that's what our breakdown was. And I think I think we'll talk about all of them a little bit. Fair warning. The first 6 people we're going to talk about, we're not going to say much about them.
Yep.
Because their picks, they're number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And 16 is going to probably see the least amount of discussion.
So this is how we're going to do this. I am going to say the player, the college, their size, the rounds that we're seeing them go, and what we would grade them. And then we will give you some analysis and team fits if we feel like it.
Yeah, some team fits. We got some player comps, a little bit of analysis. We'll read off our notes a little bit, and then we'll elaborate a little bit.
At number 16.
No, number 16.
You're going to do that for every number, and then I'll do the intro for them, and then we can move on, okay? Let's do that.
Let's find. Well, you have to say it first so that I know when to say the number.
Okay.
Number 16.
Appalachian State Jalen Virgil.
Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah is going to love this one.
He's 6'1", 210. We see him in mock drafts going in the 4th round, but we have a 5 or 6 grade on him. Special teamer through and through.
Yeah, the reason we have him on this list is because his position is listed at wide receiver.
Yeah.
If you are using him as a wide receiver, you are probably using him wrong.
Yeah.
He's a punt return specialist. He can make a big play because something that you'll notice is a pretty consistent statement we'll make on some of these guys. Jalen Virgil is fast as hell.
Oh, yeah.
He's fast. His 40 time is currently listed at like 4.46, 4.48. His game speed's faster than that.
Mm-hmm.
Promise. Watching it just looks ridiculous.
And no combine invite, right?
Yeah, weird. No combine invite for this guy. Very strange. I would have loved to have seen him run a 40.
Look forward to his pro day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can both agree this is a special teamer. His speed will keep him from being undrafted.
Our best team fits were just teams that were ranked low in special teams.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Green Bay is our favorite one by a lot. They need a return man. It's a good one.
All right, let's move on.
Let's do it. Number 15.
Khalil Shakir from Boise State. 6'1", 190. We have a 3rd round grade on him. Anything to say about Khalil Shakir?
Yeah, we wrote it. Running, and more running.
Yeah.
Great, pretty good hands. Almost weird the way he catches the football. Pretty slippery. And we wrote here, could take the top off of defense. You're damn right, but we love him in the slot.
Yeah.
You should not be using him on the outside. That is a slot receiver. And at 6'1", 190, that's your prototypical slot size. I like the player comp we put on him. We got him as a 1 inch taller Christian Kirk.
This is the type of guy that you play against a zone-heavy defense, he can eat it out alive.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. He can beat up on a zone fast. The way you should play him is put a man offline, give him space underneath, and then just get to him. If you can't get to him, he's going to cause you problems.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good complementary piece for a team. Keep in mind, we're saying this about a guy we have ranked 15th.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have good things to say about everybody here.
This is a hell of a class for wide receiver.
It's a great class. These guys are fun. That's why we wanted to start with the wideouts. This was fun tape to go through. The only not so fun tape was David Ngata or Joseph Ngata. Who's David? We even have a David on this list.
We do have a David. We will get to it.
Oh, that's not even what I was thinking of. I think I was confusing him with Ross, who we will get to as well. All right, but yeah, no, Khalil Shakir. I love Boise State players because I love their field. But this, I mean, who knows? Dallas could use a slot guy. Kellen Moore is a Boise State guy. Why not? Could be a good fit. Number 14.
At number 14, we have Alec Pierce.
Whoa! A playoff wide receiver at 14th. You guys are crazy.
Desmond Ritter's Cincinnati target, 6'3", 213. We've seen mocks taking him in the 3rd and the 4th. We have him basically the same as a 3rd round pick. He's a weird one.
He needs coaching. He needs coaching in a bad way.
Yeah.
The one thing we noticed, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to pull up his sheet for this year because we didn't believe it. We were watching his tape. We were like, why is he rated a little bit higher? Because the talent's there. Like he's clearly a talented guy. And played the year 52 catches for 880 something, 884, 8 touchdowns. But something weird happens in some of these games where he just isn't there at all. He plays. I'm not going to say he's playing in every game, but I'll just say real quick, every game he played almost every, I think he played every game. This is the number of receptions he made in each game. 2, 2, 5, 6, 6, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 3, 8, 2, 2. There's a chunk of games where he's just not a factor.
He's such a weird player.
He just vanishes.
He's 6'3", 213, and you know what he was running the most? Go routes. Yeah, and he was fast.
His season long reception was 53. It's not bad, but every game, I mean, if he caught the Navy game's the weird one for me because he caught 5 passes for 37, which was that's weird. How low that is. 7.4 per catch. Only other single digit catch. He played USF 3 catches for 24. Bama 2 for 17. That was ugly. I mean, it was a bad game, but I mean, he played Notre Dame 6 for 144. Played in Indiana 5 for 86. Played Tulsa 5 for 113. Eastern Carolina 8 for 136. Talent's there.
This is a player that needs the right team fit.
Needs a good team fit and needs coaching. Our best team fits, we don't even have them listed. We just say the weird ones.
Exactly.
It's an odd player. With the only player comp we didn't know. When we were watching him, it's like, who the hell is this? We couldn't figure it out. Somebody on Bleacher Report wrote Eric Decker. Okay. Sure. I guess. Body type similar.
I think he gets a bump from the fact that Desmond Ridder was his quarterback. Yeah. Without that, I could see him going in the 5th or 6th round, actually.
Sure.
But if you have a good wide receiver coach, if you coach him up, he could be a weapon.
There's something here. You just need to crack the code.
All right, but moving on.
Number 13.
Sky with 2 Ys more from Western Michigan.
Give me the size.
5'10", 195.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I like this guy a little more than Ebteen did. I might have put him 2 spots higher, but not convincingly. The projected rounds we've seen him go were 4. I would not be shocked to see him in the 3. Because I think he's going to have himself a heck of a combine and a heck of a workout period. I look at him and I see Brandon Cooks, and I think
that's the perfect analysis.
And I see a diet Steve Smith.
Yeah,
and I mean the good one, not the Giants one. I saw another player comp for Randall Cobb. Okay, I see that one too. He's fast. He runs a great route. He knows how to separate. It's that simple. Get him the ball. Yeah. He can catch the ball. He doesn't seem like a catch liability. Get on the ball, let him run. He looks like an elite level complementary weapon. That's a guy that can really give defenses problems.
I want to see him on the Rams.
Rams would be a really good fit for him. If they lose, this is like Tutu Atwell. If Tutu Atwell was good.
Yeah.
You know,
is what it is.
It's what that guy. I mean, he's a little bigger than Tutu, I think, but
he is.
I like him in New Orleans. We have him in New England as a good fit. Houston, they have Cooks. If Cooks goes somewhere else, you can fill him with this. There's plenty of teams this guy could fit on. Chicago, if you guys were looking at our document, you'll notice Chicago. You would notice Chicago and Cleveland are on almost every single one of these players because our general thing is they need receivers.
And then we also have Tennessee, and I think that's a really good complementary weapon to add with AJ Brown. All right. We've cracked number 12, John.
Let's do it. Number 12.
Clemson's Justin Ross.
Also with a Y.
Yeah. Justin Ross has problems.
He big though.
We've seen him as high as 2, honestly, round 2.
Mhm.
But mostly round 3. We have him as a round 4 prospect. And we have him being a perfect fit for Jacksonville.
Yeah, we like him. Jacksonville and only Jacksonville. He's 6'4", 205. It's a DJ Chark replacement. A player comp we saw was Marvin Jones. I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
He missed the entire 2020 season due to a congenital neck and spine injury. That is a flag on top of a flag, and it's all painted red.
And then he broke his ankle in 2021.
Yeah. Now, here's the funny thing. I remember DJ. I do not know how to pronounce the Clemson quarterback's last name, so I'm just going to call him DJ. DJ had like a really good high school grade coming out, and dear God, has it not translated? Because the tape we watched of him trying to throw to Ross and Joseph Ngata was just not good.
Here's a little sneak peek on the quarterback's grade. We wrote, had an absolutely dreadful quarterback.
Well, he's not in this draft. He's fortunately not in this draft.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still getting hyped for next year for some reason.
Yeah, tune in for next year when we rip DJ a new one.
He's going to be Zach Wilson of 2022.
Ebteen said, well, probably not. Ebteen said something when we were watching the tape, and I made sure we wrote it down in quotes because I wanted to make sure we repeated this. Ebteen said, there's a very rare moment when we're watching film where Ebteen says a thing, and I'm just like, that is exactly what I was thinking. He nailed it. Unremarkable, but potentially reliable. I can dig it. At 6'4", I'd like to see you at 215. He's not that. I'd like to see you healthy. He's not that. He seems like he's got decent hands, but it seems like if he's not getting good QB play, he vanishes.
Sounds like we're describing Marvin Jones.
Right. We had the exact same thing written here for Justin Ross that we have for Joseph Ngata. He shouldn't have declared.
Yep.
He had another year of eligibility. We don't think he should be in this draft. But since he is, and since the tape does say some good things, and we think the ceiling is probably higher than the 4 people we mentioned before, he slots in here at number 12.
He very clearly and honestly pretty easily can have a better NFL career than his college tape.
No question. The raw gifts are there. The gifts are there. He doesn't need the guidance necessarily. He just needs to stay freaking healthy, and he needs a quarterback that can hit him in the numbers. Justin Ross getting an opportunity to play with Trevor Lawrence. Okay, it's probably going to work. So we'll see. Number 11.
David Bell from Purdue. 6'2", 205. We've seen him going in round 2. We have a round 3 grade on him. And speaking of round 2, we see a wide receiver too.
Yeah, we had for what was it, for Justin Ross, we had unremarkable but potentially reliable. For David Bell, we have unremarkable but extremely reliable.
Yeah.
It's a high football IQ. He knows where to be on the field. His balance is great. He's like sneaky elusive. Doesn't show a propensity to drop the ball. Obviously, the tape we're watching is probably, we're not going to see the ball drop too much. Although we did watch full game tape, so we would have seen the drops. We didn't see much of it. Yeah. We watched. We didn't just watch highlights of these guys. We watched their bad plays. We watched their good plays.
Remember that when you hear some of the surprises.
Oh yeah, he catches with the hands, and a lot of college players don't do that so much. And the one thing we didn't write down here that I will also say is David Bell is one of only a handful of guys on this list that also showed a propensity to try to NFL catch it.
Yeah.
Where he tried to get 2 feet. And you only need 1 in college. But he almost looked like he was instinctively going for that second foot. I think there's value in that because it means he's been practicing it.
I think he's a wide receiver too in the NFL. I think the perfect way to describe David Bell is solid.
Diet Mike Williams.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
If your team drafts him and we're right, I think you'll be very happy.
Yeah.
We're in the top 10, John.
We're in the top 10. I'm going to do this one. Number 10, John Mechie. There's your first surprise.
Alabama, 6'1", 195. The more we watch Mechie, the farther he drops on this list.
Yeah, I like if John Mechie, if the draft were up to us entirely, John Mechie would be begging us to stop watching his tape.
Yeah.
Because the more we've watched, the more we've not liked him. And it's a good thing we started. We did him kind of early because
we did him first, didn't we?
I was one of the first few we did.
Yeah.
We did him kind of early because preliminary rankings had him higher. And after we watched, we were like, okay. And then we watched more guys. It's like, what are we missing? This is not the same echelon of player at all. But
there are a lot of tools there.
But there's things to like.
Yeah.
6 foot, almost 200 is great size. He's got great hips, runs great routes. He is a slant god.
Yeah, slant god right there.
Slant god. That man does not want to smell a block.
Yeah, let me give you the negatives. He doesn't want to block. It looks like he can lose focus at any time. You know how you hate it when you see a wide receiver start thinking before he catches the ball and then he's
Tyler Boyd
the ball? Well, Mechie will do that.
Like
Another thing we noticed with Mechie, I don't think I remember seeing a contested catch at all.
Yeah, the reason I'm not as worried about that one is because it's just not his style of play. If you're using him for a jump ball, you're probably using him incorrectly.
No, I get that, but when his major weapon is his slants in the NFL, the slants are not going to be as clean as they were in college.
No, they're not. There's going to be a guy over the middle ready to take your head off.
And we also noticed he doesn't break tackles that well.
That's where I got a little bit upset because I've watched, you know what's funny is there's even big guys that struggle. A small guy not being able to break a tackle, I can kind of get. A big guy, Zach Ertz is one of the worst tackle breakers I've ever seen in my life. He's huge and he can't break a tackle. No clue why. But if I see Mechie if somebody gets a hand on John Mechie, I'm generally thinking he's going down. And the problem is he's coming with an ACL tear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't gas guys with your burners, they're probably going to get their hands on you, and you're probably not going to feast on that yak.
We initially had a second round grade on him. I think when it comes to the draft, we will see him go in the third.
Yak means yards after catch, guys.
This is a football podcast.
No, I know most of you people will know that. But for those people that don't know that, welcome. Sit down, have a beverage. Yards after catch.
Let's move on to the next player.
Yak God means yards after catch. Usually means he fast. Number 9.
Senior Bowl standout Christian Watson from John's favorite school, North Dakota State University.
What the hell, Carson?
6'5", 208. He's a riser because of Senior Bowl he's been seeing in the second round. We have him as a second round, closer to third round. It's really the Senior Bowl tape here because his college tape has speed. We see speed.
And that's all it see. That's all you see.
We see him play some running back snaps, if you remember.
We do see that.
But watching him against Georgia corners and Auburn corners in the Senior Bowl and watching him kind of make a fool out of them, there might be something there.
Christian Watson has a very high yards per catch average. 18.6. Quite high. Now, here's the problem. He has never caught, at least this season, he did not catch more than 6 balls in a game. But his longs in most of these games this year, he's got a 65, a 67, 85, 45, 40, and 71. He can rip the top off of your defense. Easy. And those are on his receptions. I've got a game against South Dakota where he puts up 52 yards rushing. One of them is a 43-yard run. He can rip you in half with his speed. He can do it. You can't teach speed. You are fast or you are not. The knock I put on him is the fact that he's 6'5" and only 210.
The man is skinny.
I need more meat on that. You need more meat. You're going to get hurt. Granted, I said that about Devontae Smith, and he's just really, really freaking good. So I've been wrong about you need more meat before. What was that?
I was like, I wanted to say yet.
I mean, don't jinx me like that. I need one nice thing.
All right, let's move on to the next player.
Number 8. This is kind of where we get into we like these players.
Yeah.
And then we get to number 6 and we have to explain some things. Go to 8.
From Georgia, 6'3", 201 pounds. George Pickens. Are you done?
Yeah, I guess.
So George Pickens has the unfortunate injury problem that is kind of common with wide receivers this year.
This is the thing. It's the thing.
His biggest question mark is his injury history. But what tape we saw, especially in 2020, we saw all of his 2020 actually. I love his hands. I love his ball tracking skills. He was a great route runner. Can he stay healthy?
That's the problem. Like you look at Pickens, and the only problem you have with him is okay, but medical. The guy's good. If he were healthy, you could see a back end one on this guy.
If you were healthy, he was a one. Yeah,
you could see a back end one on this player. It's a talented guy, and I've got him in the early 2. Injuries or not, I've got him in the early 2. Now, it's an ACL again. Is he the same receiver that he was in 2020? That is the entire question. If yes, this ranking holds. If no, okay, then you'd fall down some levels. But let's go with yes. Cam Akers just came back after a 5-month Achilles tear. Things work. Surgeries go faster now. These receivers are fast as F, boy. Surgeries are also fast as F, boy.
Moving on.
They fast. Number 7.
Another Senior Bowl standout. And another boy that can be described as he fast.
That he fast.
We have Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama. Now,
he's skinny too.
Can you check if he's invited to the combine?
Jalen Tolbert?
Yeah.
I've got the combine all. Yes, he is.
Watch out. Because
that's going to be fun.
This can rise to a first-round pick.
That kid's going to, every workout he does is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I think he might bench okay too. Like not well, but like 5 reps at 190 would be acceptable for me.
So we have him graded as a round 2 pick, but if he works out like we think he does, he'll sneak into the first round. You know, Detroit needs a wide receiver.
Here's the reality. You look at the entire, we wrote one line of analysis on him. Yeah. Hands are sick. His speed is sick. His team is pathetic, but he is a yak monster.
Yeah.
Yak God. I think this is the season's yak God. I think that is this season's yak God is Jalen Tolbert.
Rip Jalen Virgil.
You have Jalen Virgil and you have Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is this year's yak God. This guy knows how to fly. 82 catches this season for 1474. That's ridiculous. 18 yards on an average reception. But let's take a look at his game-by-game splits. Because why not? We got all the time in the world. his game-by-game splits. These are his yardage numbers. 168, 95, 54. Oh, no. 143, 84, 174, 155. And here's the fun part. Let's go down. 95 and then 65. By the way, that's 65. He averaged 16.3 yards a catch because he only had 4 in that game. 108, okay. 143, fine. 191. Yeah, God. His longs in each of these games, 49, 42, 40, 61, 43, 40, 55, 30, 27, 24, 68, 57. Give him the ball. He's fast.
And all of this with very bad quarterback play.
Some of the worst we ever saw.
And we watched Clemson's quarterback.
I'm going to look up Jalen Tolbert's like expected 40 time. It's going to be 3.9. Somewhere in the 4.3s to 4.4. I would not be shocked with a 4.3-1. That wouldn't surprise me at all. If he breaks 4.3, I'll be surprised. This looks like a guy whose game speed's faster than his workout speed. This guy's going to work out fine. I want to see him in the passing drills. That's going to be so fun.
All right, John, let's shock the world now.
Oh, no. Number 6.
USC, Drake London.
Almost everybody's consensus number 1 wide receiver is R6. And I'm going to make sure I put this into the ether now. Drake London's quarterback play at USC was abysmal.
It was the worst.
It was abysmal.
Yeah.
But A, he's coming in with an ankle fracture. B, he's 6'5", which is great, but he's 210, which is not. We player comp him at Adam Thielen. If Adam Thielen were in Mike Evans' body.
How sad is that?
But if you're going to be Mike Evans' body, just be Mike Evans.
You know what the problem with him is? He will never take the top off of a defense. He will live in that 10 to 20 yard throw.
This is weird because it almost felt like he was playing in slow motion, but not the good way.
Yeah.
Like it almost looked like he just can't run that well.
Yeah.
He's a really good route runner. I will give him that. And that helps, especially in the NFL. Good, but not great lateral speed, really slow vertical speed. He's big and plays a little bit smaller. He had maybe 1 or 2 meaningful contact plays, but otherwise doesn't really want to get hit. He's really good on a comeback route, really good on a back shoulder pass. And we saw him drop a couple balls.
No, all of this is with Keaton Slovis.
The ball from Keaton Slovis is uglier than holy hell. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why anybody thought he was a first-round pick ever.
I'd rather have Jake Fromm.
I would rather have Jake Fromm as well, but I was higher on him than anybody. Drake London very well could be. Here's the problem with Drake London. It's why he's this high. It's also why he's this low. Drake London could either be the biggest value play and be able to just thrive by being given an NFL quarterback, or he busts hard.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. I do not know the answer. I know he's big. I know he's got long limbs, and I know he runs at a few steps.
So we have him with an ankle fracture. Will he be at the combine?
Do I have an invite for Drake London? Drake London does have an invite. Whether or not he works out is a different story, but he was invited.
Let me be very clear. If there's one player that can rise on this list, it would be Drake London.
I want to see London work out.
We need to see him. We need to see him with a quarterback.
Can I tell you this right now? If Drake London puts up a 40 under 4.55.
Yeah, under 4.55.
If he goes under 4.55, I could bump him to 4, maybe. Like I'm telling you, his speed was such a problem for me because he looked slow.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the number is going to look like. It looked slow to me.
As everyone knows, Drake London is a projected first-round pick. What we saw was a sexy second rounder.
You've got, what is it? Projected 40 time is anywhere between 4.46 and 4.48, but that was pre-ankle. So who knows? If he puts up a 4.46, I'll shut up.
Oh yeah.
Then you can do it. Fine. Go ahead. But golly, I'm not sold. Usually a guy that big and that strong, you'd be sold on. I'm just not.
All right. We have a top 5, John.
Number 5.
Ohio State. Chris Olave.
Yeah, so Chris Olave is the latest entrant in Fast Boy. Here's the problem I have with Chris Olave. He's 6'1" and he weighs 170.
Ooh, he's skinny.
He's skinny. Eat a sandwich, brother. Like, just eat a sandwich. The player comp is Tyler Lockett. He is Tyler Lockett.
Clean catches.
Tyler Lockett.
Clean catches all around. Had a diverse route tree. What I did like about him is he looked polished. He
looks ready.
Yeah.
He looked ready last year.
Oh, yeah.
We liked it. We mentioned him a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
We like Olave. This isn't new. We watched his Michigan State tape. He looked great. His Oregon tape. He looked fine. His Penn State tape. He looked great. He's a capable wide receiver. He's a very capable wide receiver. Only reason I'm not rattling off his stats is because they're not Jalen Tolbert's. But he's a very dependable NFL-ready deep threat. That's what you're looking at with Chris Olave. Talented guy. Huh?
Just gain a little bit of weight.
Gain 10 pounds and you should be fine. This man will be a first-round pick. He's expected to be in the first, and and he will go in the first. By the way, to say this, Drake London's going to go in the first.
Oh, yeah.
But as of right now, there are 32 players that are going to go in the first. And considering our top 5 receivers are going in the first, we don't see that 6th man creeping in, considering how good the rest of the draft is. We do need 20 spots for pass rushers after all.
Another thing.
Sarcasm, by the way, guys.
When we do our mock drafts, we're going to have Drake London going before some of the wide receivers in our top 5 when we're doing predictive mocks.
Yeah, there will be.
Don't be surprised. We're trying to predict the draft.
Right. Right now, what we the last draft we do is predictive. Straight up. Our last draft is meant to try to predict the draft. And we'll probably put London higher. But I don't think if Dean and I right now have found agreement. We are doing this for the first time ever. We are fully making our consensus on positions. The difference is that every year he and I always deviate on quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
I do know this year our ones are the same.
It might not be in the end.
Don't do this to me. Okay. My one is staying the same. I'll see you after the combine and the pro day. The pro days matter more for quarterbacks. It's not the combine as much for them. It's the pro days. But no, Olave is going to go first round. That's a first round pick right there. Number 4.
And one of my favorite wide receivers to watch.
Mine too.
Future Las Vegas Raider.
Probably.
At 5'11", 183 from Penn State.
Woo!
Jahan the Rocket Dotson.
Yeah, I don't even know if the Rocket's his name, but Rocket Man might as well be. That man can fly.
I am in love with this player.
Jahan Dotson runs fast and he runs easy. He runs easy.
He's absolutely electric. The player comp we have is Tyreek Hill.
Jahan Dotson's going to post a sub 4.35 time. He's going to do it. If Jahan Dotson breaks 4.3, he will be my prediction for the Raiders to select him.
Yeah.
That will be my prediction. Like, I'll say it now. That will be my prediction. If he breaks 4.3, he'll be a Raider.
His route running, deceptively good.
His route running is really good for a guy that
will murder a zone defense. He will take it behind the woodshed and absolutely brutalize it.
Yep.
What we didn't see him against a physical corner.
Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of corners willing to press him.
for reasons.
Yeah, because if you miss, you lost. But you in the NFL, the corners are better in this league. They just are. And if Jahan Dotson is across from, I don't know, who's a good physical corner? Stephon Gilmore was before he aged up. So let's say Gilmore 3 years ago.
Let's say the Bills, the one that was injured this year.
Trey White's kind of physical.
Yeah.
If you're against Trey White, probably he's going to have a tougher time. Now, what's funny about Jahan Dotson, 91 catches for only 1182, but 12 touchdowns. The man's opportunistic.
And who was Penn State's quarterback?
Well, yeah, valid. But here's the fun part about this guy. 102, 65, 78. These are yardage numbers again. 117, 84, 48, 69, 127 against fifth-ranked Ohio State. And I'm going to stop on this Maryland number because I'm just going to read his whole stat line. 11 catches, 242, 3 scores with a long of 86. The Raider. That is such a Raider line. That's just a really, really good football player.
Let's move on to another one of my favorite players.
Number 3. Am I on 3 or 4?
You're on 3.
Number 3.
Arkansas in our top 3. 6'3", 225. Played like Drake London was supposed to. Treylon Burks. Wow. You want to see a man play like he has size? Watch Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks plays like he has size. By the way, I want to make sure I don't short shrift somebody because I remembered this. I just a real quick backup to Sky Moore real quick. We were talking about really like impressive single game lines. And I remembered Sky Moore is a 4-touchdown game.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I paid enough recognition of that. He's also a sophomore coming out. But against NIU, 12 catches for 206 and 4 scores for a 50-yard long. That's just sick. Hell yeah. Anyway, yeah, Treylon Burks.
You want to say our player comp? Because it's a lot of praise
for Treylon Burks.
Yeah,
Demaryius Thomas.
Rest in peace.
Plays just like him. The difference is he catches with his hands,
and I would know
Thomas didn't do
because I watched Demaryius Thomas destroy me for years.
Yeah, Burks can go quiet. It's not like he's always exploding, but Treylon Burks is the exact opposite of John Mechie.
Yeah.
In that when you watch the more John Mechie tape you watch, the less you like him. The more Treylon Burks tape you watch, the more you want to blow a mid-first round pick on him.
Hello.
Yeah, right. I have 3 of those. So
you should honestly hit Burks, hit Dotson, and just walk away.
Hit both of them. Build the greatest receiving core of all time.
Look what the Bengals did with a great offensive.
Now check this out. Yeah, difference is we have an O-line. Check this out. Here's the problem with Treylon Burks, and it's a minor problem. 66 catches this year. It's not the 75 or more you'd love to see. 5.5, 3.6, 3.7, 9, 4.5, 4.8, Okay. But here's some yardage numbers. 42, 37, 127, 167, 10. Keep in mind that is a game that Arkansas played against Georgia, who just won the national championship on the back of a defense. Ole Miss, he put up 136. They were 17th in the country at that time. By the way, the game he put 167 up, 7th ranked Texas A&M. Plays Auburn, unranked, 109. Then 89. Then Mississippi State, 17 ranked, 63 yards. LSU, only 16 catches. They were unranked. They win that game. Arkansas wins that game in overtime, but not a great game, 16 yards. But here's the most impressive one for me.
Craziest one.
He plays a 42-35 tear shedder against Alabama, the number 2 team in the country at the time. 8 catches for 179 and 2 touchdowns against Bama.
Want this man.
Against Bama this year. That's sick. Not to mention the following week, plays Mizzou, no fatigue. Plays Mizzou 6 days later. Not 7, 6 days later, and puts up 129 and a touchdown on 7 catches. This dude's ready. He is battle tested. This man is battle tested. Do it. He beaten up on ranked teams. Yes, Georgia held him to 10. Georgia held everyone to 10. Don't blame him. Georgia was sick. Traylon Burks. Couple of quiet games, but the catch radius is ridiculous. And he has a ceiling. He has more to get to. He hasn't hit it yet. That's why Burks is so high. Because everything you see out of him, you're like, okay, I want to see what the next step is. Please don't Jake Fromm the league, Traylon Burks. Please just be good.
Even if you Jake Fromm the league, you got a wide receiver too.
Right. Even if he Jake Fromms and plateaus, he's still probably a WR2. Good one on most teams.
Let's move on to number 2.
No, number 2.
And let's do it again, and let's say 1B this time.
1B.
Alabama. Once again, Bama's up here. 6'2", 190, Jameson Williams.
Another player you'd like to see gain 10 pounds, but not the end of the world that he doesn't the way that he plays. Because this is Hollywood Brown with a higher ceiling.
You know how the Bengals got where they got? Playmakers. You know what Jameson Williams is? A playmaker. Yeah.
He if the ACL is a bummer, but his finishing speed's ridiculous. He runs great routes. He's a little route limited. He runs them well, but he doesn't run them all. But his playmaking ability is ridiculous. And he takes the top off defenses constantly. He is a slant god.
Mm-hmm.
He will destroy you in the middle of the field. Do not let him get there because it is too late. When you have allowed this, it is over. Do not allow this to happen. And I see here that we've written a lot of notes comparing him to the guy in number 1.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say any of those till we get to the guy in number 1.
So
but for what it's worth, the one thing I do want to point out is Jameson Williams had 79 catches this year for 1572 and 15 touchdowns. Jalen Tolbert's average of 18.5 was ridiculous. Jameson Williams' average of 19.9 is extraterrestrial crap.
Yeah.
That's alien stuff. You don't do that. That's not normal.
And he played Georgia twice.
He tore the ACL against Georgia in the championship game. Really unfortunate timing. But here's where it gets a little odd. And this is why I didn't love it until the first Georgia game. Okay. Plays Miami, season opener, 14th overall. 4 catches, 126 and a touchdown. One of those catches, 94 yards. Following week, 31, not great. Week after that, 11th seed Florida, 61. Okay, 4 catches for 61, not the end of the world. Plays USM. He catches 1 pass for 81 and a touchdown. Because why not? They win that game 63-14. He probably didn't get a lot of snaps. Didn't need him. Play Ole Miss, 5 for 65. That's okay. Plays Texas A&M. They lose this game by 3. He still puts up 10 catches for 146 and a touchdown. Mississippi State, 2 for 77, including a 75-yard bomb and 1 touchdown. Tennessee, 6 for 123. LSU, 10 for 160. New Mexico State, 6 for 158 and 3 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. But not as ridiculous as this. Arkansas, number 21 in the country at the time. The Traylon Burks game. 8 for 190 and 3 touchdowns. Traylon Burks' line was really good. What if I told you he wasn't the best receiver in that game? How crazy is that? Then he plays Auburn in a 4 OT thriller, 2 catches for 43. I watched every minute of that game. He was noticeably absent. And then he plays Georgia in the SEC championship game. And this was a highly hyped game. Bama wins this game by 17.
Yeah.
Because Jamison Williams said so.
Yeah.
7 catches, 184, and 2 touchdowns against the best defense in college football by a mile. Then he plays Cincinnati, plays okay, and then plays Georgia and tears his leg off. But that first Georgia game, he was otherworldly. Jamison Williams has got gifts for days. He will be a great NFL player if he gets that knee back to where it has to be.
He will go later than he deserves to because of
I agree.
Let's move to number one.
You know what's funny? He might not. Remember Todd Gurley? He came out with a knee thing. He went 10th.
Mm-hmm.
He could go. You could see a similar story. It's not. He doesn't have to fall.
This class is so good, John.
It's a really good class. It's a risk you don't have to take. I understand. And it's admittedly probably what keeps Jamison Williams at 1B instead of 1A. Because we do like the man at number 1.
The man at number 1 who completely blew my socks off. 6 foot 192 from Ohio State, Garrett Wilson.
We look at Garrett Wilson as a potential Deebo Samuel.
You can't give bigger praise than that right
You
now.
cannot give bigger praise. Let's bring up Garrett Wilson's numbers for the season because it was really this year where he really popped. It started to become like, okay, well, wait a minute. Chris Olave, we knew he was good. Who's this other guy? And the thing with Garrett Wilson is he's a threat no matter what you do with him. They aren't handing him the ball much. He only got 4 touches, but when he got them, it worked. His game against Purdue is the one you look at and you're like, you know what? You're pretty wild, aren't you? Because he put up 10 for 126 and 3 scores through the air. And then he put up 51 carries on 1 rush for a touchdown. His breakaway speed is ridiculous. His second gear is wild. He's shifty. He's got elite level hands. He can pause and make everybody around him move in slow motion. Like when you're watching the Justice League. I don't know why you would do that, but if you are, it's whenever the Flash had any like slow motion crap going on, because everything around the Flash is going slow because he's going so fast because it's dumb. That's the way it looked with Garrett Wilson. You would just see people overrun him constantly because he would just stop and look at you and just decide that's what I'm going to run. The drawback is that sometimes doing that, he plays a little casually. But if you can coach that out of him, you've got yourself a hell of a weapon.
His balance was kind of crazy. I've never seen like he touches the ball, you're like, he's going to break a tackle. His elusiveness, his lateral quickness, the man can be filthy, like just plain filthy.
He is such a great side to side player. Whereas James, like that's really what you can say about this. If you want a player that can feast going side to side, Garrett Wilson's your guy. If you want a guy that's going to rip the defense's lid off, go Jamison Williams. That's why they're 1A, 1B.
Mm-hmm.
They're both so unbelievable at what they do, but they play very different football. One of them is Deebo. One of them is Tyreek. It's pretty wild what they can both do on a football field.
Now, the way we've seen this wide receiver class stack up in the media, people have Drake London as number 1. And then I think it's Olave at number 2, right?
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of Olave at 2.
Olave's at 2. Then I think it's Wilson, Burks, and Dotson in whatever order that outlet has at them in.
So what's funny is I've got a CBS list right in front of us.
Okay.
I know we don't love CBS, but what I will say about CBS's list is it's oddly similar to ours because their top 3 are our top 3.
Okay.
Wilson, Williams, Burks. Number 4 is Drake London. Number 5 is Olave. Then Pickens, then Dotson. That's where that sits. So Pickens might be our only misfire there. But
we liked Pickens. We just don't know what Pickens will be.
Now, here's what I will say. There are names on here that separate the field from Jalen Tolbert that are not even on our list.
Yeah.
I've got Olave, Pickens, Dotson, David Bell, Justin Ross, Khalil Shakir, John Mechie, Wan'Dale Robinson from Kentucky, who we did not do heavy scouting on, Eric Izukanma from Texas Tech, who we did not do heavy scouting on, but we might want to take a look because he's 6'3", 220, and then Jalen Tolbert. For what it's worth, I just named 15-something receivers. Jalen Tolbert is ranked number 102 on the big board. 15 receivers in the top 102 in the entire draft. That's nutty. It's the year to need one. Following them, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce is 150. He's low on this list. Jalen Virgil didn't make the list. Sky Moore, I don't see him on here. So
I think Virgil we added because of those special team chops.
We did. We liked him. We didn't have another way to talk about him. We do like him as a return man. He is not really a receiver. We don't like him on offense. We like him returning the football. I'm going to do a quick little look and then we'll say goodbye, but I'm going to take a quick look at Wan'Dale Robinson's numbers and Eric Izukanma's numbers, because if they're going to separate Jalen Tolbert from our field and we didn't even look at them deeply, we might as well look at why. So I'm going to look up Wan'Dale Robinson and see, well, when you type in Wan'Dale Robinson, the first thing that comes up is 40 times. So I wonder if he's fast. Let's take a look at his numbers. He's one of Kuiper and McShay's risers. What did he do this season? He caught 104 passes.
My God.
For 1334 and 7 touchdowns. Yeah. It just wasn't brought to our attention.
We'll get back to you on him.
We will. I mean, he started the season great. The problem was his strength of schedule was really bad. He had 2 games where he caught 12 passes, and then he caught a game where he got 12, and then another where he got 13. The game where he caught 12 was against Georgia. 12 catches. How many yards do you think he had?
48.
39.
Oof.
That is really bad. In a game you caught 12 passes and you only got 3.3. It's not good. It's actually really, really atrocious. His average yards per play per reception is 12.8. It's not what you want to see, really. But I've seen worse. I'll look at Wan'Dale Robinson's 40 time, if that's the thing they want to push on me. He's mid to high 4.4s. There and can't always secure passes through contact is one of the knocks to keep seeing. That's not an NFL player. Then you need to be able to catch the ball in contact. And then the other one we have to look at real quick is, because we're getting dangerously close to a very long episode, is Eric Izukanma. And I've never heard of this player. I'll be honest with you. It's also throwing a 40 time at me. Why is the 40 time on this guy projected at like 4.6? That's not good. So what is the matter with this? So either this big board has not been updated since the Senior Bowl, or there's something about this player that's, I can tell you right now, there's no way this man would have made our list. 48 catches for 705.
Oh, he would not have made it. No.
He just wouldn't have made it. He has 48 catches this year, 46 last year, 42 the year before. He's not breaking 50. He's just not that involved. He beat up on Oklahoma a little bit. 8 catches for 123 and a touchdown. But I'm sorry. Jalen Tolbert was so impressive on tape. I don't know why he's separated by so much. I got to be honest. I just don't see why. Not there. Izukan was 6'3". That could help. But no, I'm very comfortable with the receivers we've done the most study on.
So who's your least favorite wide receiver that we've studied?
Least favorite in totality? Yeah. The problem is I'm going to say David Bell. I'm going to say David Bell because I just don't like his tape almost bored me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that he's not a good player. He is. It's just that I know his ceiling feels limited. He just feels like he is what he is, and that's it. Whereas almost everybody else on this team, it's like, you know what, in the right situation, he could be really effective. David Bell feels like he feels like a role player to me. John Mechie's another one. I just don't like him now because I'm watching him plummet.
I was gonna say Mechie, so I will say Alec Pierce.
I was gonna say Pierce.
Yeah. It's just that the disappearing act is
it's odd.
It's just I don't trust it.
What's funny is that Cincinnati as a program this year is really hard to scout. I know they did really well this year, and they did, but I don't really know how. Like, you look at their stat line, you're like, what happened? How did any of this happen? Like, yeah, they got themselves a heck of a corner. Sauce is a beast. Sauce Gardner could play. But
anyone named Sauce will be a beast.
If you're going to go by the name Sauce, you probably have something. So, I don't know. Odd. Very, very odd draft class, but a fun one. We'll bring another position to you guys probably next week. Might stack them together. Who knows? We'll jump around. We'll probably stay on the offensive side of the ball.
We will. I'll promise you that. We will stay on the offensive side.
The one thing we're probably going to wait on, though, I mean, we're probably going to hold quarterbacks till the end of the offense.
Quarterbacks will be the last one we do.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Quarterbacks we always like to do last because it's always the biggest position and it becomes its own episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we always find Chris Sims rankings and rip in a new one. So, this should be we're in it now. We're in the belly of the beast now. This is going to be a fun off season. Anything else?
How about this? Next week we will bring you running backs and tight ends.
Okay. When do we do linemen?
After that.
Okay. Yeah, the problem with linemen is I'm the one that has to kind of do almost all of it.
Yeah.
I like if Teen watches it and even he's like, I don't know what you're looking at. Like I try to explain it.
I remember watching Justin Fields and like even I could tell that offensive line was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Teen usually is able to understand the O-line based off of what the other players are doing with relation to it. Whereas, which works because it lets me focus on what are his feet doing, which is vital. And to this day, the only O-lineman I've ever seen with perfect feet is Quentin Nelson. Everyone else has a foot problem. And at the risk of getting creepy, I'm going to stop.
At the risk of getting a little Rex Ryan-y.
I remember that. Remember when he was a coach? Now he's just on ESPN for some reason.
Seems right.
I guess.
Well, that was objectively wrong.
We usually are.
John and I are the next men up.
Yes, we are.
And that was our show.
We will see you next week with more rankings and more news and maybe Carson Wentz's pink slip. I don't know. Not pink slip. What is it? No, it's not pink slips if you get the car.
Yeah.
What's the
Carson Wentz is losing his job.
Wait, isn't there a thing? I forget. Damn. Oh well, that was unfortunate. Bye.